The future is ever-changing. Communities, jobs, and economies are continually being transformed. This is why we need incredible minds to connect problems with innovative solutions, to disrupt and create new industries, to enable businesses to think sustainably, to shape evidence-based leaders and the next generation of visionaries. SALCC helps you to shape your career. Your passion is calling. Your future is standing by. Tap into your potential. Virtual and on-site classes, dedicated faculty, diverse student experiences, and highly recognized programs. Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Apply today and fast-track your career.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College Informational Hour. My name is Natalie Jolie Fanis, and it is a pleasure to be here with you once again, bringing you all the information you need about the next step in your educational future. Today, once again, I'm joined by staff of the community college who will be telling you about our various program offerings. But before I get to them, let me just once again remind you, as this is our application period, of our deadlines and some very pertinent information that you need in order to access the community college. So firstly, our applications are still open. You have the rest of this week to apply to the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College to all of our regular associate degree, certificate, and our two bachelor degree programs, which is the Bachelor of Science in Nursing and the Bachelor of Education. We also recently launched 4 other new bachelor degree programs. That is a bachelor's degree in Public Health, in Environmental Studies and Sustainability, in Tourism and Hospitality, and also in Business Administration. The application for these new bachelor degree programs run till the end of May. So the deadline for application to our new programs is May 31st. So these are 2 deadlines. Once you get on our website, that is www.salcc.edu.lc, right there on the landing page, you will see the Apply Now button, and you can go through the application process for any of our programs. In addition, we have created another pathway for our applicants to access our programs if they do not yet have CXC results. So our regular semester begins September 6, 2021, and in order to facilitate that opening, we would need to have a way to evaluate our students. Unfortunately, CXC has had to push back their exams because of the pandemic to try to accommodate students. So in the meantime, we are giving you another access point. So applicants who do not yet have passes in CSEC Math and English are asked to write our entrance exam in those 2 subjects, that is Mathematics and English. And that exam is scheduled for May 26th, Wednesday, May 26th. And in order to register for that exam, you can visit our website as well, where you'll also see a graphic and you can register. So an application, it's a registration for the exam so that we know your interest. We will ask you to indicate the school that you are coming from, because it's mostly our secondary school students, our 5th formers, who do not yet have CSEC passes. However, if you are a more mature applicant who does not have passes in the CSEC, you can also write the entrance exam, and you can access this exam at our 2 campuses in the north or in the south. So that is the entrance exam. We also have a number of applicants who have not yet completed the application. So they may have begun, but they have not submitted the application, maybe because they missed something out. So we're asking you to revisit your application, those of you who are unsure, and you can also call our Student Services Department at 457-7324. I'll say that again, 457-7324, and they will give you the assistance that you need. They have been calling some of our applicants to let them know, but we want to be sure that your application is in, that we have all of the information that you need. The applicants who have written CSEC Math or English in January or in their fourth form year, maybe last year, these results will be accepted. So you simply need to give us a copy, either a photograph or a scan of your results, and upload that with your application. If you've already submitted your application and you did not do so, please feel free to email that information to us, and you can do it via the email addresses that you see on the application form. So if you go to our website, you will see the email address for student services, and you can send the copies of your certificates to that email address. So all of that information is to get you set to start our semester in September. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message us on our social media pages. We also have a WhatsApp platform, and you can reach out to us via our telephone numbers as well. All of that information is on the website. So let us get now to our guest for this afternoon. And today we are going to find out about our South Campus. And many of our students in the South have met the head of the department, who is very, very hands-on. And we are also going to learn about our agriculture program. So it is my pleasure this afternoon to welcome and to introduce, firstly, Dr. Cleofa Dilsuk, who is the head of the South Campus, and she also heads our professional and lifelong learning programs. And she will explain what that means to you in a little bit. Welcome, Dr. Dilsuk.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for having me.
And joining her is Mr. Anthony Bonaparte. Mr. Bonaparte is the head of our Agri-Entrepreneurship and Climate Smart Agriculture Unit. Renamed, but he's been around in the agriculture field for a long time, so we look forward to hearing about that. So as with our previous programs, ladies and gentlemen, we always start with a little bit about you, and specifically your journey at Sir Arthur Lewis. So we'll start with you, Dr. Dilsuk. Tell us about your time at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College.
Okay. As you're aware, I am my least favorite subject. So, so I'm going to tie my journey at SALCC with a bit of background of the South Campus. Okay, so the South Campus, formerly known as the Southern Extension Center, was established in 1992. And so that was when I started my journey with the South Lewis Community College. Okay, so the South Campus took in, well, back then, Southern Extension Center took in its first cohort of students in 1993. That was January 1993. And so the center, you know, at the time comprised of two separate units, the Distance Education Center and the Business Education Center. So back then I was a part-time faculty member.
Wow.
Okay, and so somewhere between 1997 and 1998, the two units were merged to form the Southern Extension Center. It was initially Southern Extension Service, and we then became the Southern Extension Center. Okay, at which time I took up duties as a full-time lecturer. Okay, we changed location back then from the middle of town to the Binfield Business Complex at that time. So over time, the center evolved into a mini campus of the college, which is now called the South Campus and is headed by a dean. So as it relates to my journey, moved from a part-time lecturer, full-time lecturer, assistant coordinator, and so I'm the dean of the South Campus.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for that little bit of history, because I didn't even know all of that, so I'm learning.
Yes. Okay, so I've been with the college for 29 years, and the South Campus, initially as Southern Extension Service, is 29 years old.
Wow, so you have literally grown with it.
With it, that's correct.
Very nice. And you'll tell us a little more about the role of the South Campus and how it sort of differentiates itself, because I know it's different, and I really admire how it caters to the needs of our citizens in the South. So we'll get to that, but let's hear about Mr. Bonaparte. I'm sure just as interesting, and I'll get a little bit of history from Mr. Bonaparte as well.
Not too much history. My name is Anthony Bonaparte. As I said, I joined the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College in January 1996. So I have been at the college for 25 years. and I have always been at the Division of Agriculture. I joined as a lecturer, lecturing in agricultural engineering courses, and basically this is my technical field. I have been in agriculture for a very, very long time.
When did you become Dean of the division?
About after the previous Dean, Mr. Albert Sinclair, who started the unit. When he retired in about 2004, I held on for a while, and around 2008 or 2008, 3 years later, 2005 he left. 2008 I became Dean of the unit. Yes.
So both of you have a quarter of a century experience. You know, let's make it sound really old and long. I'm just joking, but that is good, and that is healthy experience, and I'm sure you've seen the growth. And I know, Mr. Bonaparte, you are now on the brink of retirement. So you leaving just at the point of another change, which I hope you can tell us a little bit about in a while. So, like I said, thank you so much for joining us. So, what I want to do now is to get into the program offerings for your particular units. But Dr. Dilsook, I spoke to the sort of speciality of the South Campus in terms of accommodating the students in the South. I know that now that we've moved on to online, it's a little bit different. But can you tell us about the runnings of the South Campus prior to 2020?
Okay, so prior to 2020, the South Campus offered both, well, we still do, both full-time and part-time programs. So we serve basically the southern half of the island. Okay, well, with online now, we serve the entire island and beyond. But prior to 2020, we offered, as I said, both full-time and part-time programs. There's academic programs. But in addition to that, we also offered a number of TVET courses, okay, individual courses like tile interior and practice, masonry and things of that sort. Okay, these are normally done as standalone courses. Persons receive a certificate at the end of it, because we also have the TVET programs. I just wanted to differentiate a little bit between what we offer at the South Campus and the TVET programs that are offered at SALCC. And these TVET programs are housed at the Department of Engineering and the Circular Economy, headed by Mr. Florian Combi at the Mon Campus. Okay, so as I said, we offered both full-time and part-time programs, and we also had some TVET offerings and so on. Okay, the South Campus, as you indicated earlier, Natalie, it operates slightly differently to the Mon Campus, in that we have an intake of students every semester. So persons who are not able to come in to start their academic programs during the August semester, they would be able to come in and start in January. Persons who are not able to start in semester 2, they still have the option of starting during the summer semester, although during the summer semester they would not be able to get the full complement of courses, that you normally do during a regular semester, but they could still start and then you utilize the summer semesters to basically catch up. So they would have the regular semesters, and the summer semesters to basically catch up with the cohort.
Did you use that method because you catered to more non-traditional students? Was that influenced by that?
To some extent, yes, because in the South, our resources are very limited. So in an effort to maximize the use of the very limited resources, we started classes prior to COVID. We had our face-to-face classes starting from 7 a.m.
in the morning.
Yes. So, but interestingly enough, once persons got used to that, students got used to that, because that was a part-time slot, 7 to 8:30 a.m. That was a part-time slot. It's still utilized in the virtual environment, because lecturers who we have a number of lecturers who our adjunct faculty, they do have full-time jobs elsewhere. So for some of them, that's the time that they're able to come in and, to do, well, not come in, but that's the time they're able to do the live sessions. Persons can join in their pajamas. It's not an issue at all. So, I mean, it's even better now than when they had to come in at 7 a.m. But we had, I have to say, our students, both younger students and the more mature students, they're very committed in that you have people coming all the way from Soufrière, and they would be at the campus by 6:30.
Wow.
So, you have to appreciate their level of commitment there. So we had, as I said, we had classes starting at 7 a.m. and we would continue until, based on the, depending on the demand, we may end at midnight. Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, we cater for, we provide consultancies as well. So sometimes we are running a program, let us say, for the Ministry of Tourism, and if it's taxi operators at that time, and they indicate to you that during the day, that's when I'm making my trips, the flight's coming at whatever time. So the time I am able to actually sit in a classroom would not be before 6 p.m. So if you have, let us say, a 4-hour module running, you know what I'm saying? You do the math.
Really?
Okay. Some of the modules are 4 to 5 hours long. So it depends. We train tour guides as well, and so after persons have finished their day's work, that's when they're able to come in to do the training. So you have to be flexible.
That's a lot of flexibility.
Yes, it is, but we try our best to meet the needs of the clientele, because what's the point of saying okay, we end at 7 p.m. but you have people who need you to go beyond that. So what do you do? So our day was extended, not only later but earlier. So we have 7 a.m. to whatever time we need to be there. And we also extended the week. The school week had to be extended, so we went into Saturday. We need a break. So Sundays we didn't offer courses on Sundays, but some of our training, like the TVET areas, the tile, theory and practice, and so on. Now, again, we spoke about limited resources earlier. We may have limited resources, but we are resourceful in that we partner with the various secondary schools in the south of the island. So we don't have any workshops that we can utilize at our campus. However, the Binfield Secondary School, the administration of the Binfield Secondary School, the principal, vice principal, so they have been extremely accommodating. So we are, even right now, we are able to use the facilities on a Saturday to run the TVET courses. So we would have these courses running from 9 to 4 on a Saturday. So they would come for 12 consecutive Saturdays, and so we have to be flexible to accommodate the clientele that we serve.
You spoke about the dedication of the students, but that means there has to be dedication on the part of the staff as well. What's your staff complement on the South Campus, Dr. Dilsuk?
Absolutely. So we have four full-time faculty members, 4 very dedicated full-time faculty members. Okay. But we also employ, we contract on a per semester basis as needed, approximately 20 adjunct faculty members. And these are persons who work in industry. Some of them are educators, some of them are very young retirees. So we are from the education sector, so we are able to utilize it. And that's why we're able to have 7 a.m. classes, because most of the time a retiree is able to take that class for you, So whereas other persons may be able to come after work, sometimes the retirees are able to take the earlier classes for you. So yes, as it relates to our staff, we have very, very dedicated staff. We have some staff who travel from Castries to Vieux-Fort on a Saturday. Persons like Mr. Dujon, they travel from Castries to Vieux-Fort, so it's not just persons within the community itself.
On that note of dedicated staff, we have to take a break, so we'll let people digest that for a while, the dedication of the South and West Community College staff. Please stay with us. When we come back, more about the programs offered under the South Campus and Professional and Lifelong Learning and our agriculture program. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to broaden your career opportunities? Future-proof your career with a bachelor's degree from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. We've introduced new cutting-edge degree programs in environmental studies and sustainability, tourism and hospitality, business administration, and public health. Online platforms are making it easier than ever before to further your education and mask your competitive advantage. This is the game changer you've been waiting for. Get the highest return on your investment in the ECS from the college you trust. Visit salcc.edu.lc. Apply today for September 2021.
Thank you for staying with us here at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Today I am joined by the heads of our agriculture unit as well as the head of our South Campus and Professional and Lifelong Learning. And we just heard from Dr. Dilsuk about the specialities of the South Campus and how they operate differently to facilitate the needs of the clientele down there. And she ended off by telling us about her dedicated faculty staff members, but I know you have a small complement of office staff as well, Dr. Dilsuk?
Yes, a very small complement, but very efficient. Okay, so yes, we have very, very dedicated admin staff. We have our secretary, Ms. Loretta Acti. We have our other secretary, Ms. Nyla Smith, and we have our clerk, Ms. Cresley Mathra. Those three ladies, they, they manage the front office, and they, that little unit, they serve as the registry, the
student services, finance
services, counseling unit, you name it. So very, very efficient staff, and I do need to mention at least my four full-time faculty members, Mr. Kieran Serrier, Mrs. Bilan Francis, Mr. Johnson August, and Mrs. Gail Isaac. These are my four full-time faculty members, who, over the years have given their best to ensure that to ensure that our students get the kind of attention that they require.
Kudos to your staff. You'll really hold it down in Vieux-Fort in the South, catering to the needs there. So yes, so that was just a little bit about the South Campus, because I know they operate a bit differently, and you sort of given us a little insight into some of the TVET courses that you offer. But tell us, and again, I know these days things are a little more open because of COVID. There have been some changes, but traditionally, what would have been the programs that the South Campus would have offered, and maybe you can bridge to now how it works.
Okay, excuse me. So, in terms of our academic offerings, we offer a Sustainable Business and Innovation Associate Degree Program that's offered on both a full-time and part-time basis. Okay, we also offer the Administrative Office Management Program, again on both a full-time and part-time basis. We now have the Health Aid Certificate. Now, you asked about in the past, well, the Sustainable Business and Innovation and Administrative Office Management. These are actually replaced by the two legacy programs that we're just about phasing out, which are the Business Administration and Office Administration AD programs. Okay, so these are the current programs, the Sustainable Business and Innovation and Administrative Office Management. These, of course, these programs are the same programs that we have at our Mon campus. Okay, and for the first time in the history of the South Campus, we took in a cohort of Health Aid Certificate students. So we started the Health Aid Certificate program during semester 2 of this academic year, and that cohort will be completed in July of this year. So that's our first cohort, and we're getting ready to accept the second cohort in the new academic
September.
year. That's correct.
I understand the numbers are pretty high for the Health Aid program this year.
Yes, absolutely. So we also have the Criminal Justice Associate Degree Program.
Before you move on, how have you been able to accommodate the health aid? Because I know they do have a practical component. Have you been able to make arrangements in terms of the lab work?
Absolutely. So the health aid certificate has 3 components. There's the theory component, which they do online. That they do that via the Moodle platform, like everybody else in the other programs. Okay. Then the second component is the skills component. So they use the simulation lab. We've been able to set up a small simulation lab at the South Campus. So persons from the South no longer need to travel to the Mon campus to to access the skills lab. So that's the second component. And then we have the third component, which is the clinical part of the program, where the students go out to the health centers, to the wellness centers, the health centers, and mental wellness, the wellness centers, the hospitals, and the mental wellness center.
Okay.
So so persons from the southern half of the island no longer need to travel to the Mon to be able to access that component of the course.
Is the practical facilitated by the staff of the Mon campus, or do you have somebody in the south who?
The practical component is okay. That component is facilitated by staff of the Department of Health, Wellness, and Human Performance. They reside in the southern half of the island, but they belong to the Department of Health, Wellness, and Human Performance, headed by Dr. Prisca Regis.
Has worked out well.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you speak, before we move on, can you speak to the requirements for the health aid program?
Okay.
Entry requirements?
Certainly. So for the health aid certificate, it's the entry requirements are basic literacy and numeracy skills. That's it. So we have no maximum age, so the minimum age would be 17, 18, but there's no maximum age. Like any of our other programs, we don't discriminate. I think my eldest student, if I remember correctly, she was 64. She wanted to learn French. She was actually a German national. She wanted to learn French. So yes, she was 64 years old, very young 64-year-old. So as long as the person is willing to learn, that is what the Department of Lifelong Learning does. As long as you are willing, you can come in to do whatever it is, as long as you meet the entry requirement.
Great.
Okay. Also, we don't discriminate in terms of younger persons. So even for secondary school students who are currently in Form 4, Form 5, if they want to come in to do a course that we are offering, it doesn't even have to be one of the TVET courses. They can come in and they do it as a standalone course. So especially the access courses, we've been liaising with Dr. Depredine from the Modern Language Department and Mrs. Morissette Phillip from the pre-college unit. Any of the access courses that they want to do, whether it's from the modern language or math, English, whatever it is, they come in, they do it as a standalone course, and they get a certificate at the end of it. In fact, it's something that we encourage, because I remembered when I was at secondary school, some of our teachers would terrorize us and say, you all are messing around now. You wait when June come about, and then when June comes around, and then you'll have to write. Back then the CXCs were held in June and so on. When June comes around, you all will see, and you all would be crying because you won't be able to go to college. College is not a big scary thing. We want students to understand that there are persons who have done it before you. There are persons doing it now, and there are people who would be doing it after you. So we want them to come and see. You can certainly do a college course right now, okay, so you can see what it's like, test the waters a little bit, because I think as Caribbean people sometimes we do frighten our children, we scare them to death. It's like, you will not be able to do it, but that is not the case. We want people to understand that, and my own children have taught me that the younger generation is a lot smarter than we are. When my son at 3 tried to help me sweeten a pot of coffee, I said to put 3 spoons of sugar, and he said 4. I said no, 3. You know what he did? When he put in the first one, he went 0, one way or another, he was going to put 4 spoons in there. So I'm telling you, the younger generation is a lot smarter than we are. So
0 is the number.
That's right. That's his preschool teacher's fault. But anyway, I'm just saying that to say that, we welcome anybody who is willing to learn. Your age is not a factor.
That is excellent. That is so excellent. Okay, so yes, so I interrupted you on the health aid. I think you were moving on to criminal justice.
Yes, so we also have the Criminal Justice Associate Degree Program and the Social Work Associate Degree Program. In the past, we had the Social Work Program. We had it at the certificate level. However, based on discussions with the Department of Human Services, we discovered that the minimum requirement to work in the to have anything to do basically with social work employment, the minimum requirement is an associate degree. So we have phased out the certificate, and so we are now offering the associate degree in social work and criminal justice. And these are offered mainly on a part-time basis because persons need to be at least 18 to
access these programs. Yes. The professional program.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So that's your full gamut of programs for the South Campus?
Yes, for academic programs.
We will come back to your TVET in a little bit, and we're going to jump to Mr. Bonaparte. I know he runs a slightly smaller unit. Dr. Dusuk has a whole campus, but it is an important part of our economy, of our nation. I will bring in food security because I really do believe that we need to do more in agriculture. So tell us about, I know you're a single program in agriculture. Tell us about the program, Mr. Bonaparte.
Okay, the program that we now offer at the Division of Agriculture is an agribusiness entrepreneurship program. In that program, students are given an opportunity to learn some technical aspects of agriculture, but with entrepreneurship and business core skills being imparted to the students. The whole idea is that in the Caribbean and in St. Lucia at the moment, the business part of agriculture needs to be emphasized a bit more. And in order to ensure that people develop business competencies, we needed to infuse more business-like or business subjects into the curriculum. And that's what we've done with our program. We have discontinued the general agriculture program for the main reason that in order to demonstrate competency in general agriculture, you really have to do quite a bit of subjects, and then the students, when they select general agriculture, they tend to move to whatever job offers that are out there, and they may select some area that they may not necessarily be very strong in. So we are now focusing on the agribusiness entrepreneurship program because we believe that our graduates need to look towards self-employment, because a lot of our entities, our private sector entities, do not necessarily employ graduates at that level to work. A few of them do, but a lot of them don't. Many graduates look towards the Ministry for Employment, and so those who cannot fit into the ministry at the time, because the ministry can only employ so many people, and we think it is important that people are able to move towards self-employment. I believe that the technical areas provide the best opportunities for students or for graduates to become self-employed, the technical areas. However, they need to develop the level of confidence and the business skills in order to set up micro businesses if they choose to.
How does it compare to the general agriculture program? Because I know in terms of requirements in the past, there was a science requirement.
Yeah.
With this new program, the requirements have changed slightly?
Well, we still demand 2 science subjects.
Okay.
And when we say any 2 science subjects, and we prefer biology and chemistry. However, some schools do not offer students biology and chemistry with agriculture, and normally you'd find students who have done agriculture at secondary school who come to the Division of Agriculture. However, you do not really need to have done agriculture to be accepted into the program.
That's interesting.
If you have a science background, we feel that this is adequate if you have a science background. Of course, those students who have done some level of agriculture or are connected to agriculture through their rural life, so to speak, they would definitely find it a lot easier handling the program. They'll find it a lot easier handling the program. But to give students an opportunity, we say 2 science subjects. And sometimes some of them do not come in with both sciences, but the college has enough flexibility to allow students to pursue sciences that they are missing through, I think we call it the Kickstart program, or they can do the sciences in the summer before entry and still get an opportunity. So students do not need to, they need not delay their application if they are awaiting results or if the summer is not out yet. For example, this summer is not out yet, so students who may want to come to the Division of Agriculture and do not have a science background may decide, I will pursue a biological science course in the summer with the college if it's available. And if they want to pursue it while doing their work at the Form 5 level, they can do it. And if the person has already graduated and left school working and they want to pursue the fundamental science with the Department of Lifelong Learning, they can do that and still enter the Division of Agriculture.
Okay, so can you just go through the list of subjects that would be best for students who want to come into the agriculture program?
Okay, what would be best? I would say 2 science subjects, preferably in biology and chemistry. You have English and math. Because the program has a business emphasis, if you have done business, you may find it to be an asset. But I would still say that the business subject that would probably be most helpful to you is Principles of Accounts, because there are accounting courses in the program and students find accounting to be a bit tough going if they have not been introduced to the subject. The other subject area that I think students, it's a little bit strange, but students seem to be having some difficulty with is Introduction to Computers. Right now, especially as we are delivering online, students have to prepare their assignments. They have to type up their assignments, use the word processors, etc., and they have to prepare presentations. And some of them, although the Introduction to Computers is offered early, a surprising number of students seem not to handle that very well. So students who have, if you have done your ICT, you have your math and your English, and you have done well in your communication courses, that is your English courses, and you have a science background, we should be able to help you to succeed.
What about the practical component of the course? I know in the general agriculture it was definitely a staple. Has that changed with the new program?
It has. It has changed for the new program. And the new program has 2 practicum sessions, one in each summer.
Okay.
Right, one in each summer. And of course this, whereas the general agriculture program, we used to take students to the farm 4 semesters minimum, including a significant part of the summer, every 6 weeks of the summer, and the 4 regular semesters. But in this new program, No, we have reduced it to 2 practicums, 1 in each summer.
So the focus has changed.
Yeah, the focus has
to
changed.
the business.
Yeah, more towards the business side of things. And so what we need to do to ensure that is that the students do well in the technical components of the subject, because the 2 things are extremely important when it comes to agribusiness. Right? You need to understand the technical aspects to apply the business concepts to it. Yeah.
So the students in the summer, do they still make use of the farm, the South Louis Community College farm, or they can do the practicum anywhere?
Well, the farm, and we would use it. In fact, we have our first cohort, and we will use elsewhere as well.
Okay.
Even in the general agriculture program, when when COVID started and we had some programming issues, we allowed some students to do their practicals at home.
Okay.
Right? But the staff went over to them and supervised them.
Okay.
Right at home. With this new program, this is not likely. This is not likely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it'll be a bit different.
Yeah.
I know that the farm is technically not under the purview of the academic unit, but can you tell us some of the activities that our students used to engage in when they use the farm?
Okay. The students when students go to the farm, they get engaged in hands-on activities. They collect data, right? If any research is going on the farm, they may participate in this. The college collaborates with the Ministry of Agriculture on a number of projects that they may be doing, and if, for example, the farm is selected as a site for any of their experiments or their projects, the students may get involved in that. But the farm has a number of sheltered production units. We have like 6 high tunnels, and we have a fully enclosed greenhouse that was donated by the government of Mexico in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture. So they have both indoor and outdoor open field conditions to work with. So they get involved in the production of vegetable crops mainly. They carry out husbandry practices in these crops. As I said, they collect some data, but we also have 3 livestock units, namely we have a small ruminant unit where we raise some sheep. We have also a piggery, and we do layers right now, so we produce eggs. The farm they seem to be quite good at producing eggs. We used to do broilers, but we have reduced broilers to just student projects. So students are given an opportunity to raise a small batch of broilers simply to look at the technical aspects of producing broilers, and this would include the resources, how the birds utilize the resources, and they look at growth, etc. So the students look at the farm from that standpoint. That's how they utilize the farm.
Okay. On that note, we have to take a break one more time. We will be back with Dr. Jill Sook and Mr. Bonaparte for some more information on their programs. Please stay with us.
Are you looking to broaden your career opportunities? Future-proof your career with a bachelor's degree from the South Louis Community College. We've introduced new cutting-edge degree programs in environmental studies and sustainability, tourism and hospitality, business administration, and public health. Online platforms are making it easier than ever before to further your education and mask your competitive advantage. This is the game changer you've been waiting for. Get the highest return on your investment in the ECS from the college you trust. Visit salcc.edu.lc. Apply today for September 2021.
Welcome back to the South Louis South Louis Community College, that's my department, Communication, Informational Hour. Thank you for staying with us. We heard just before the break from Mr. Bonaparte about the agriculture program, and now we're going to shift a little bit. So in the announcements at the start, I spoke about quite a few of our deadlines. The other thing that is new at the college is that we are actually going to begin our summer offerings, and registration for that is also open. And the greater responsibility of the summer offerings in terms of coordinating it lies with one of our guests, Dr. Dilsuk. So we will move a bit into that because that has interest even for our applicants, for our current students, and for any of you who are interested in doing some just what we call standalone single courses. So we will move to Dr. Dilsuk now for her to tell us about our summer offerings for 2021.
Okay. Yes, before I go into the summer offerings, I need to apologize to one of my staff, Ms. Kiwana Edmond. I totally miss Kiwana, so sorry. Kiwana is our, her substantive post is a library assistant, but we have had to, reassign her some additional duties. So Kiwana is a very important part of our team because she helps to organize some of our evening, because right now we are running some evening classes for the tourism operators, and so she has to be the one to go and set up and so on to ensure that things go smoothly. Yes, so again, my apologies, Goanna.
As you talk about your evening operations, I forgot one of your very, very popular offerings now, the defensive driving.
Oh, yes.
Maybe you would want to talk about that before we get into the summer offerings.
Yes, so the defensive driving course, initially we offered defensive driving face-to-face, both at the Mon and the South Campus. But, as our current Honorable Minister for Education would tell you, there is also always opportunity in crisis. So when COVID hit last year, we had a couple hundred people waiting to do defensive driving, and we could no longer go face to face. So we took it online, and we have not gone back, and we have no intentions of going back face to face, because in the face to face environment, whereas you could only accommodate maybe about 30 to 40 persons, right now we are able to accommodate, we could accommodate more than that, but we take in classes of about 100 persons. So that is offered live. They are synchronous sessions, of course, so, we run.
You have to attend every session.
That is correct. And so you do your registration, you turn on your video, we see your driver's license, we see your face to verify that you are indeed the person who is attending. And one of my staff, Nyla, who is responsible for defensive driving, she would be present during each session to ensure that persons actually remain logged on and so on. We are actually in discussions with our e-learning department regarding issuing of digital certificates, because we currently issue a hard copy certificate. However, from last year when we went online with that, the transport department has been extremely accommodating, and I'm so grateful to them for that. What we've been doing is submitting to the transport department at the end of each cohort. We would submit a list of the participants with their driver's license numbers as well as the defensive driving certificate numbers to the transport department, and we would also issue the defensive driving certificate numbers to the individual participants, so they can now use the DigiGov platform. So not only can persons do defensive driving from any part of the world, because we have St. Lucians living in the diaspora, and that includes students who are away studying, some of them as far as Taiwan, and Taiwan is like 12 hours. There's a 12-hour difference. So it's okay, people can attend in their pajamas or whatever. The important thing is that they can actually get it done without having to be present in the physical classroom. So like most of our other offerings that are online, defensive driving, facilitates that, that kind of convenience. So persons from anywhere around the world can renew their driver's licenses using the DigiGov platform. They just need to insert the defensive driving certificate number that we issue to them. And of course, the transport department has the list, so they can do the verification on their end. So as I said earlier, pretty soon, based on discussions with Mr. Emmanuel from our e-learning unit, we will be able to issue digital certificates. So persons will no longer need the physical certificate. We still issue the physical certificate, even though they don't actually need it to renew the driver's license, because again, the transport department, as I said earlier, they have been extremely accommodating. So very recently, what they have done is modified the DigiGov platform to allow persons to, instead of having to upload a copy of the physical certificate, they just type in the defensive driving certificate number, and they are able to, complete the process of renewal.
Using the technology very well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because even persons right now, we have a class that started yesterday. That class, the second session, ends tomorrow. And we have persons who traveled and they're in quarantine, but they're still able to do their defensive driving course. So it has been very, very well received.
Another opportunity COVID provided. How long is the defensive driving course?
Okay, it's actually an 8-hour course. It's an 8-hour seminar, well, a webinar now. So we have 4 hours on Mondays and 4 hours on Wednesdays, and that completes the cohort. Yes. Yeah, so persons can do it from anywhere around the world.
That is excellent.
Okay, so we were talking about the other offerings, the summer offerings. Well, defensive driving continues all year round. There's no break.
Yes. So
unfortunately for my staff. But in terms of the summer offerings, we have been liaising with a number of the Department of Lifelong Learning has been liaising with a number of the other units at the college. So what we did this year was to all departments submit a list of their offerings for the summer. Now, there are offerings that there are courses that are offered primarily for existing students at the college, and these have prerequisites. So persons who are in a particular program and they would have met the prerequisite, they could do some of those courses during the summer. However, there is that separate list for the public, which we have placed on the website. Our e-learning and marketing and communications unit has placed that list on the website, so persons can actually go on the website and register for these courses. And some of them include, again, for the our current Form 4s, Form 3s, Form 4s, Form 5s. They can do for during the summer one of the modern language courses. So there is Mandarin. There is functional Creole, functional French, functional Spanish, so there are lots of options available to persons. And as I said earlier, we encourage the younger persons to come in and do a course with the college. You get a certificate from the South Louis Community College at the end of it, and it gives you a chance to see what that big monster that people say is very scary is like. College, it's not that scary at all. Okay, so you can actually get a head start. And so some of the other offerings include courses like keyboarding foundations, which again is a course that persons can do 100% online, and it's actually offered asynchronously, and persons can do it as a self-paced course. So again, that course caters to everybody. Right now, just about everything is done in the virtual environment through our PCs, and so the keyboarding foundations course actually helps you become proficient at the keyboard. A lot of us hunt and peck our way through the keyboard, and now that we have to do everything, basically everything that we have to do that using the keyboard. So it's better to be able to, at least operate the keyboard efficiently. Okay, so again, at the end of that, persons get a certificate from the South Louis Community College. So it's open. That course is open to the general public. We also have before I go into the other offerings, we also have some offerings from our pre-college unit, well, our pre-university unit, really, because that unit handles CAPE as well. Yes. So we have a number of access courses in math, communications, and the sciences, chemistry, biology, physics. You have the elementary physics, chemistry, and biology. So all of these courses are available during the summer. So persons could just visit the website and register for those that they're interested in. Because a number of these, for persons who are not doing some of these sciences at SALCC, and they would need them for in order to enroll in a program. They have the opportunity to do these during the summer.
Great.
Okay.
Yes.
So some of the other offerings include courses like human resource management. So persons who are at maybe at a supervisory position, but they don't have formal qualifications in that area. That's an ideal course for them. Again, it's 100% online, asynchronous. We have Introduction to Entrepreneurship, which is also offered online. We have the Basic Computer Maintenance course, which is a very hands-on course. So it's offered via blended. We use the blended approach with that one because persons need to come in to actually do the hands-on component. And as I said earlier, we have the modern languages, French, Spanish, Creole, Mandarin, and so on. So persons who need to brush up on their Creole, I know some of the doctors had indicated that, in as much as they understand the Creole, some of them are not very fluent in it. So to actually hold a conversation in Creole with a patient, it's a little bit difficult. Yes. Sometimes the nurse has to do the interpretation and so on, if the nurse is, versed in Creole. So again, that's a course that is, that's available to anybody who wants to do it. And of course, we have a variety of other courses like ethics and professional development and all of these. So I don't have all of them listed here, but we do have them listed on the website.
Project management.
Sorry?
Project management.
Yes, actually, thank you for that. We do have some short seminars. So one of them is Project Management Basics, which is an 8-hour virtual seminar. Like defensive driving, it's offered synchronously, so you need to be, you need to be there, okay? And that is offered from 5 to 9 on 2 alternate evenings. So it would be either Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday, okay? And it's 100% online. And we also have the short seminar, Basic Car Maintenance. It's actually a 6-hour seminar spread over 2 Saturday mornings from 9 to 12. There's a theory component and there's the practical component. That actually just covers, and that course came out of persons after defensive driving, after Mr. Joseph has indicated all of the things that people need to know about, their tires, checking their the air pressure or whatever. I'm not a very technical person, sorry. But
sounds like you need to take that course, Dr. D.
I do, absolutely, I do. So persons have been asking, so where do we go to learn a little bit more about if I need to change a tire, especially for female drivers, I need to learn how to change a tire, learn how to do that. If I'm stranded on the road, I don't want to wait for maybe some creepies passing by and stop to help me, and you don't know what's going to happen, So persons have been asking those questions. So after that, one of our other defensive driving instructors, Mr. Ernest, is very versed with that. So he'll be running that seminar for us. So it's very hands-on, teaches you about checking your brakes, your oil, and all of that.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes.
I'll have to sign up for that.
Absolutely. It's offered both at the Mod and the South Campus.
Great. Our time is running so quickly, and I just wanted to give Mr. Bonaparte a chance to speak about something new that the Agriculture Department is engaging in before we close off.
Yeah. At the moment, the Division of Agriculture is developing new programs. What's most advanced is the development of a program in climate smart crop production, where sustainability practices are emphasized and entrepreneurship is infused in this program. This program is being developed in collaboration with the University of Dalhousie and also Algonquin College, both of Canada, and the experts in competency-based education programming are involved. We find this program very, very important for St. Lucia because we want to ensure that the graduates would be very competent in the technical aspects. We also want the entrepreneurship aspects to be more hands-on as well, so students would not just be reading books and trying to show and demonstrate an understanding that way, but they would be really involved in small enterprises, try to manage small enterprises, but from the entrepreneurship point, come up with some viable business activities around crop production that they could take on. Now, what this program would also do, because it is being developed at level 3 CVQ, it would mean that persons who have gone through the national vocational qualification and have qualification in CVQ at level 2 would be able to matriculate into that program. So this is very, very important for us. The SAGE, as I said, because the Canadians are involved and because a number of Caribbean countries are involved, it means that programs that are developed in the other islands, namely Jamaica, Grenada, Belize, Guyana, Dominica, programs in sustainable, not just sustainable agriculture, but programs in climate smart areas like coastal zone management as well as construction would be available for Sir Arthur Lewis to include in its program. For agriculture, it means that we do not have to spend a lot of time developing a program in processing. So definitely we have coming up for us, they've been developed in St. Lucia, is the climate smart crop production, but the processing program would be right there on its heels. So we would be covering agribusiness, entrepreneurship on its own, processing, agro-processing, as well as climate smart crop production. Right. So.
Great. Unfortunately, our time is up today, but you hear all of the flexibility, the different pathways, and where the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College is going. So please visit our website, stay tuned to our social media pages for more information, register for our summer offerings, apply for the program of your choice on our website, and for the students who need math and English, register for our entrance exam as well. It's been a great hour spending it with you. Hope you learned a lot. Stay tuned. We will be back here next Tuesday. So visit our website and stay tuned to Sir Arthur Lewis. Thank you for staying with us. Have a great day and stay safe.
The future is ever-changing. Communities, jobs, and economies are continually being transformed. This is why we need incredible minds to connect problems with innovative solutions, to disrupt and create new industries, to enable businesses to think sustainably, to shape evidence-based leaders and the next generation of visionaries. SALCC helps you to shape your career. Your passion is calling. Your future is standing by. Tap into your potential. Virtual and on-site classes, dedicated faculty, diverse student experiences, and highly recognized programs. Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Apply today and fast-track your career.